Hello, this is Helen Rose, and I decided to pull together a presentation on LinkedIn profiles and how to create an amazing LinkedIn profile for young professionals, especially students. So let's get started. The first thing to realize is that why would you even have a LinkedIn profile? Well, it is actually very important. 98% of recruiters and 85% of hiring managers use LinkedIn to find candidates. So if you're looking for a job, 98% and 85% of these people who are the employers is really important. I mean, you need to be in front of them, and that's how you do it. Even if you've applied on the company's website or their job board, that hiring manager is going to go out to LinkedIn and see if you have a profile and see what it says. The best companies out there are actually recruiting on LinkedIn, and it doesn't even have to be the top companies. Many companies are using LinkedIn to recruit because LinkedIn makes it so extremely easy to recruit on LinkedIn, and it also makes it very easy to keep up with your network, keep in touch with your network, and easy to apply for jobs. And I'll show you that a little bit more. Oh, that's what I said. Okay, applying for jobs was never easier. You just basically, when you have the position in front of you, you just do easy apply, and automatically they get your LinkedIn profile. They get your information. So you don't even have to, attach a file for your resume and all of that. They already have it. It's that easy. One thing to be very aware of is when people type in your name into, Google or some other browser, the first thing that often comes up, the very first link, is your LinkedIn profile. So if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, you have no idea what's coming up first. It's better if you control what comes up about what is said about you. And the best way to do that is to create your LinkedIn profile to the best of your ability. And that's another thing. Your LinkedIn profile is your way of communicating your credibility. And it needs to reflect your reputation, the strength that you bring to a position. I like to go through these steps, and the first step is defining your target market. And, in marketing class, I've talked about this so many times, how you really have to define who you're targeting first before you do anything. And so that it's the same with employers and hiring managers. Who are the companies and the types of hiring managers you most want to get the attention of? Who are the what's the size of the company? Before I get into that, why must you define your market first? Well, it helps you be more cost effective, and think of your time as also money. You could be working at a job and making money, or you could be, wasting your time online trying to find jobs and be in the wrong direction, or not having the right profile and the right keywords and all of that, and your messaging might be off. You're wasting your time putting your information up there if it's not going to appeal to your target audience. So again, cost effective, time, money, energy, all of these things, you need to make sure you use it wisely. And so you want to create a profile that speaks to your ideal target audience. You also can create a clear, compelling message to your ideal employer. And I'll show you the different sections on your LinkedIn profile to do that. So determining your target market. Well, where would you like to work? What type of company? The industry, the location, the size, the culture, any of those things can help you determine who you want to target, which companies you want to look for, which recruiters, and also how to craft your message. Who hires the types of people with the skills that you have to offer? What role are you seeking? What job function are you seeking? So the step number 2 is creating a compelling headline. And why a compelling headline? Because it's one of the first things that they see when they see your picture, and then they see this compelling headline of, basically who you are. Okay, your headline should say what you're doing now and what you hope to do. For example, HCC grad seeking an entertainment marketing position. A marketing grad and a social media branding specialist seeking an internship. Or if you're still in school, an econ major and aspiring to be a financial analyst. So whatever how that sort of defines who you are now and what you're seeking in the future, that's what you need to put on your headline. That's the next thing they see besides your compelling headline is your photo. Okay, so your photo makes a difference. Do not leave it without a photo. Okay, that basically says you don't care, honestly. So pick a photo that looks like you. Make it a high enough resolution, 400 by 400 pixels at least. Make sure it's not blurry. Make sure your face takes up at least 60% of the frame. And don't have other people in the picture. Just have yourself. You're promoting you. If you have another person in there, they're like, I don't know which person it is. And what is this? Are you at a party? Are you at a family gathering? It's not professional, and it's not projecting you as a professional, serious person. Choose the right expression. And this is really important. How do you want to reflect yourself? That you are a people person, so you want to have a happy, a smiling face, that you're serious, that you're studious. What is it you're trying to express? And again, keep in mind that target audience. What kind of employee are they looking for? Okay, so you want to be aware of your facial expression. Avoid distracting backgrounds. Have it, maybe a simple background, like you could be outside and there could just be trees behind you. Natural light is a wonderful way to get the right lighting that you're looking for. Or maybe you want a bookcase behind you, or maybe even just you just want to make sure that there's not too much activity behind you. You don't want people behind you. You don't want too much craziness that's going to distract from you. They just want to see you. Let's see. And if you can afford to do it, consider a professional photo. If nothing else, at least have someone else take the photograph. Don't do a selfie and it looks like you're taking a selfie. Have a friend take a picture of you, and they can take several different pictures, and then you can pick the best one that has the best lighting, the best expression, the clearest, all of that. The next thing they see when they pull up your profile is your background photo. And this can tell you a lot. This can say a lot about you and your interest and your strengths. So a lot of times you see that blue with it looks like the little stars or whatever it is the standard background that LinkedIn provides. This is your opportunity to shine and show your personality and again your strengths. So personality, branding with visual appeal, background image, highlight what you do. So on the right-hand side is one of my clients, Barton Goldenberg, and he's a speaker and he has written several books. And so I created that banner for him that sort of shows that he's a speaker and he presents in front of people, and it has a bunch of his books in the background there as well. And mine has very simple, clean, and it says digital marketing, because that's my specialty. I'm digital marketing. So I make it very clear. Use an image that's a PNG, a JPEG, or a GIF. Make sure the resolution is, the appropriate size. So you want a long, narrow image, and the recommended is 1400 by 425. That's the recommended by LinkedIn at this time. Your summary. This is also what appears towards the top, and you want to make it sort of attention grabbing, that first line or two. So, and make it sure that it's a ridiculously good summary. This is your opportunity to toot your horn. State what your objective is. As a recent graduate, I am seeking the opportunity to apply, or explain your benefits. My passion is marketing. One of my strengths is project management. Whatever yours happens to be, make sure you highlight that in that summary area. Make sure you highlight your top 3 achievements. Determine what those are, and you highlight those in that section. Always keep focused on you. Don't go off too much about where you worked or anything like that. Make sure it's about you. And I can't stress enough to always have a call to action. What is a call to action? It's what you want them to do. Do you want them to download your resume? Do you want them to contact you for an interview? Make sure you say that. They don't know until you clearly tell them what to do. They often need a reminder. Terminate those typos, okay? Make sure you go through and you read through it. If you have typos and misspellings, it's going to stick out to an employer. Proofread your copy and have a colleague or a friend proofread as well. If I can't get a hold of someone else to proofread it, I often read my copy out loud to make sure it sounds like I want it to sound, and to make sure you don't auto-correct in your head. Sometimes when you're reading silently, you automatically correct the stuff in your head, but when you have to read it out loud, that's when you notice that something's incorrect. It could be a spelling or the grammar or something doesn't flow correctly. But when you read it out loud, it's amazing how you realize, oh, that didn't flow right. That didn't come out the way I thought. So I'm going to rework that. So that's a little trick I use for marketing copy that I work on. Step 7, using keywords with intent. Okay. Remember, they are doing searches for resumes in the LinkedIn database. And so depending upon what they type in of what they're looking for, they're going to get candidates back based on those keywords they type in. So if your profile talks about, you have keywords in your heading, your headline, in your summary, and in your experience in other areas of your profile, make sure you highlight and make sure you put it in your skills area. Don't forget about that skills area towards the bottom. Those are also keyword areas. So they'll be searching for people with certain skills. And the more they see those, the higher your resume is going to pop up on their list. Sometimes you'll get back, you are in the top 25 of candidates who applied. Speak based on your keywords. Okay, so that's why the keywords are very important. Just like on a website, it's SEO, basically, search engine optimization. Same thing for your LinkedIn profile. Creating a work history for students and recent graduates. I understand you might not have a lot of experience, and that's okay. They understand that. But what can you list? Make sure you're listing all your internships, any volunteer positions that bring, that you've learned relevant experience that you can bring to the position. Consider grouping your summer jobs into one experience, because if they see a whole bunch of little jobs, it might be distracting, but you might be able to group that together so it has more of a better explanation of what you did. Also, employers don't like to see, oh, I only worked there for 2 months. I understand it's a summer job, but that kind of stuff sort of sticks out at them. Like, oh, well, maybe they didn't last. No, but you'd have to, if you're in an interview, you can explain. But when you're not in front of them in an interview, you can't explain it was just a summer job. Your resume has to help communicate that. So that's why you might want to consider grouping those summer jobs into one experience. Oh, and this is really important. Make sure you link the organizations. When it says where did you work, make sure you link to their company page. It often will do it automatically, but if you don't find the correct company, then it's going to put just some sort of it looks like a little building, and it doesn't go anywhere. But if you actually find the company and it links to their company page, if they need to understand more about what you did at that company, they can click on that, and it goes to the company. Said, oh, they worked for this company. Oh, okay, now I understand more about what they were doing for that company. And maybe it's a similar company, or they can understand how it might relate to the position you're applying for. More about experience. Describe your roles and responsibilities with action words, like I increased this, I launched this, I implemented this, I led this team, I grew this, I saved so much money for the company. Okay, they like to see that kind of stuff. List your accomplishments, such as, I trained 5 staff members, I saved the company, $20,000 or whatever it is. I increased the hits on the website, by 3 times what they had prior to me being there, something like that. I was brought on board to accomplish this certain task. My responsibilities included. So you want to make sure you have action words, stuff that they can see that you've actually accomplished something, that you've done something. They like action words. And again, call to action. You can always say, for a list of detailed accomplishments, please request my resume. So this gives them a reason to contact you. And if they contact you to request your resume, then you can follow up and on the position. So it's not blind. You can actually follow up and know who's requesting information about you. You are more than your jobs, okay? In education, list the key courses. Again, keywords. We're looking for keywords there. If, you took a marketing course and you're applying for a marketing job, you want to make sure you mention that. If you, took a Java course and you're in a programming area, you want to make sure you mention these different programming language you learned. If you had any special training, make sure you mention that. Any honors and awards, and it doesn't have to be related to work. It could be, for 4-H, for Boy Scouts, for sports, whatever, if you worked on any special projects, or you wrote an article for a publication, make sure you have that in there. Sometimes we think, oh, well, I just did this project for my mom's company. That counts. I hire my son to edit my clients' videos. He's only 13, but he's a YouTuber and he has all this editing software, and I can guide him as to what I'm looking for, and he makes the edits. He can count that on his resume. You probably have some similar experience. Maybe you helped, a relative, a neighbor, someone at your church, somebody, somewhere you've helped them with the project. You can mention that. That counts. It shows initiative. Make sure you add any kind of multimedia, videos, photos, documents, presentation, anything like that, and volunteer experience. And that definitely counts a lot, because oftentimes we might volunteer to do something because we care about the cause. One, that's great to communicate that you care about the cause, whatever cause you're volunteering for, but also likely you may have done fundraising, or maybe you were a camp counselor, or maybe you were a coach, or something that shows people skills, leadership skills. There's all kinds of skills that you've been acquiring over the years, and you just have to realize you have them and find a way to communicate them through all these different areas that are available to you. Set your job search. This is very important. So steps 10, once you have your profile set and it communicates your credibility the way you want it to be communicated, now you're ready to make sure that you're ready to start finding the jobs. So there's a jobs area I've highlighted in green at the top. Click on that, and then it says what job are you searching for, what location. So if you're looking for something in Baltimore or DC, in Maryland, you can say which cities and highlight those. And then, then it'll show you, it'll keep a tally of the different jobs that are popping up in your searches. And then, when you have time, you can go in there and you can see what's recently been posted and what should I apply for. So you can actually have this pop up into your email as well. So there's different ways you can get this information sent to you. So I make sure you do this. And I hope this was helpful. Make sure you keep your profile up to date. Always keep enhancing. Make sure you always look amazing and have fun with this. I invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn because I would love to follow your progress. Have fun, and I look forward to seeing your LinkedIn profiles.